What a game. I watched it at work, and I must say that what a good game. Great finish. I want to say congratulations to the Florida Gators on winning the natty. I think the last time Florida had a championship was when Joakim Noah played there. Well, how long ago that was, in like 07, 08, somewhere on there? Man, how it's been a minute, bro. Anyways, man, what a game. Yeah, Houston should have won, huh? Maybe. Yeah, hey, Brandon Rogers, what's good, man? Long time no see, man. Shit. Another Houston meltdown. Yeah, I mean, you make the argument for there. That definitely does hold a little merit. Coming from a University of Texas fan where our men's basketball team sucks. We lose in the first or second round mostly. And the last time we made the Final Four was in, what, 03? So that can already tell you exactly how long it's been. Yeah, it's been a complete disaster, a complete joke. But our women's basketball team actually didn't do too bad. We made the Final Four, but we lost to South Carolina. And, and South Carolina has a very good team, by the way. I think they've won, like 3 years in a row? Shit like that. Probably going to win again. Good morning, Caitlin. Long time no see. How you doing, girl? Anyways, yeah, U of H, I didn't expect them to beat Duke. And they did. They pulled it off, down 9 with like a minute and a half. Man, what a season. Hey, if U of H Cougars won, people said, so are you going to be happy, Rose? I'm like, no, because my loyalty is with the University of Texas. It's the same question I get asked every year about the Houston Cougars football team. You know, they come close to like a top 10, top 5 in the college rankings. And they're like, so if they end up making a top 4 college playoff, or now it's a top 12, but back then it was a top 4. They're like, would you root for them? I'm like, no, because my loyalty is with the University of Texas. Sorry, hook them. So even if U of H won tonight, I mean, people celebrate. It wouldn't be me personally. I wouldn't give a shit. I'd be happy for the city of Houston, but I personally wouldn't care because I'm a University of Texas. Longhorns, hook them. That's the team that I ride with, man. That's where my loyalty is. I bleed nothing but white and orange, man. Now, white and orange comes right out of my veins, god damn it. Game was good. Florida won. Hey, hats off to them. Hey, it's Cooper Flagg going to the NBA. Man, he'd be a fool to pass it up. He's projected to go number 1. Why would you not want to go? Your draft stock is high. I know you have a loyalty to your college team, but shit, you tear an ACL in college, there could go your NBA contract. So to me personally, I'm going where the money's going, and I'm gonna take that that NBA contract. I don't care if it's with a bad team. Who's the worst team in the NBA right now? Is it Utah? If Utah was smart, tank and draft Cooper Flagg with a first pick, you'd be a fool not to do it. Yeah, I mean, you'd be a stupid idiot. He's the best player on the board, the hands down. So most talented on the board. So he's going to be drafted number 1. And everything else after that's a crapshoot in a bucket. Basically what the NBA has turned into over the years. You might have 2 or 3 guys in the draft, and everybody else is just a crapshoot at that point. You know? Good seeing you too, Caitlin. Good seeing you too. Well, like I said, my University of Texas lost in the first round in that little play-in tournament, and lost to Xavier. And so, of course, I always get pissed by the team that beats me, so I always wish the team that beats me the worst of fucking luck. And I said, I hope Xavier gets their ass kicked in the next round. And they lost to Illinois, so I was happy about that. So, I'm not tripping. I was excited. So, I'm like, okay, the team that beat us lost, we're good. But, yeah, our men's basketball team sucks, man. We never can get past the first round or the second round. Lucky, like, if we win a first-round game, shit. That's our Super Bowl right there. But for some reason, in men's basketball, we just suck. But the women's basketball team had a very good season this year. Like I said, Final Four, played against South Carolina Gamecocks, team that won 2 years in a row, something like that. They even beat what's her name, Caitlin Clark's team, Iowa. So, like I said, they got some good wins under their belt, and that's a very good basketball team. And South Carolina's probably going to win it all again. Wouldn't surprise me. But, yeah, Florida Gators. How does it feel to be chomping away? I saw your fans doing a little chomp thing there. So, congratulations. You earned it. Respectfully so. Another Houston meltdown. You know what was fucked up? When Hakeem Olajuwon tried to enter the and they wouldn't allow him on the court. Now, ideally, I get it's the security guard's job to check your credentials, and maybe it's kind of University of Houston's fault for not giving Hakeem Olajuwon the clearance. But if you guys remember, a couple of years ago, Patrick Ewing had the same issue with the New York Knicks. He was trying to get into I don't know if he was trying to get into the clubhouse or he was trying to get front row seats or something. I don't know what, but the security wouldn't allow him to do it, and he was pissed. And anyways, so yeah, they probably would have let Hakeem Olajuwon storm the field this time. They're like, oh, we're not going to screw this one up like we did last time. Hakeem was looked pissed in the stands. But the last time Houston Cougars made a Final Four was 1983 and 1984. And guess who played for the Cougars? Hakeem Olajuwon and Clyde Drexler, a.k.a. Clyde Slamma-Jamma, they called it. And they went to the finals, and based on my history lesson, I went and looked it up. They lost to NC State, the first one, and then they lost to Georgetown. Who played for Georgetown? Patrick Ewing. That's right, Patrick Ewing played for Georgetown and knocked the Cougars out in 84. And then, of course, Hakeem Olajuwon got his revenge against Patrick Ewing in the 94 NBA Finals in the Game 7, or took it to 7 and won the NBA Finals. So, I mean, I guess, you could say that they both got each other on the one-up. Ewing's got a college ring, and Hakeem Olajuwon's got an NBA championship, really, too, in that case. But, yeah, Patrick Ewing's still one of the greatest. I mean, not the greatest, but, one of the top 50 or whatever. They got little rankings or whatever. But anyways, yeah, man, I like the March Madness bracket. I think it's pretty cool. That's sort of how I emulate my my NFL Pick'em League, my NBA basketball Pick'em League, baseball. I sort of emulate the March Madness, but I kind of tweak it a little bit. I make multiple elimination rounds, and I do playoffs. It's kind of like mini play-in tournaments for the people at the bottom. So I kind of emulated the March Madness bracket, but I kind of tweaked it to my own. I didn't want to steal like their entire idea, but one year I actually wanted to do a top 64 bracket, but I just didn't want to see 64 beat a 1 and then 1 gets mad. So, I was like, well, maybe that's not such a good idea after all. But hey, I'll tell you what, U of H Cougars, man, they got a nice little football stadium off of Cullen downtown. Their main campus is pretty nice. They got a good program there. They got a damn good program. Their football program is on point. Basketball program has stepped up. U of H Cougars sucked for a long time. Like, they were trash for a long time until probably maybe about 2016 season and up. They've really started building on the program, and now they've been relevant in football and basketball when for decades they've been just at the bottom and an afterthought. It's always been about University of Texas in regards to football and basketball, even though our men's basketball team is not really that good. But now University of Houston is now starting to get that Texas Longhorn status. I'll admit, they're starting to get up there. And honestly, Houston Cougars got a better basketball team than the Longhorns do. Even though the Texas Longhorns have, more of a prominent, Dallas Cowboys sort of, Texas alumni in terms of, prestige, based on history. And for, U of H to now become more relevant than the Longhorns, at least in basketball, that's not that bad. I can actually say the University of Texas, the Houston Cougars are better than my Longhorns. I will admit that. That's kind of a little bit hard for me to admit, man. Because if everybody says, are you a Cougars fan? Fuck no. My loyalty is with the University of Texas. I bleed it white and orange, and I don't bleed nothing else. I don't root for nobody else. And if I was, I would root for the Rice Owls, even though they're not a Division I school. I would root for the Rice Owls. If I was to root for another team, it would be the Rice Owls. Absolutely. Not the Cougars. The Cougars are now starting to become a rivalry, and it's sort of like an itch on my side. And then they talk shit about the Longhorns now. So they're now kind of like in that Oklahoma University Boomer Sooner, or the bastards from Norman. They're sort of like kind of reminding me of them now. And, respectfully so, I will admit that the Houston Cougars are sort of earning that prestige. They've earned the right to talk a little shit because their basketball team's better than ours. So I'll give them that. I mean, if you say put your money on the Cougars or the Longhorns in basketball, for men's, you're going to put it on the Cougars. And the Cougars have shown, at least in the last 5 years, that they're advancing to Final Fours. They're getting to the Final Eight. And they're actually and now they actually make the championship. I mean, they beat a prestige school in Duke, and now starting to gain that OU status. So now they're like rivals to the University of Texas now. It would be a dream match to play them, but I think they would beat us. Their basketball program is a lot better than ours. Anyways, make a long story much longer. Make a long story much, much longer. How was y'all's day? Other than some bull. How was y'all's day? Beautiful morning. I'm talking about it's 6:36 a.m. in the morning. I feel great. This is a beautiful day today. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I really do. Because I would love for my day to be wonderful as well. I got to get some sleep. I got, another 12 or 11 and a half hours for work. So I'm going to definitely get some good sleep. And then after that, got to go to work yet another day, rinse and repeat. And hope you guys have a beautiful day. I know I do not upload as much. A lot of people have asked me, why I don't do it anymore. What happened? I'm like, well, life happens. Things change, people change. You get older, you have a different kind of perspective on things. Yeah. So I don't devote to uploading like I used to. To be honest with you, it's just, I don't want to say I don't have the passion for it anymore. And it probably comes down to time. I would say it's probably, for me personally, it comes down to time. I don't have the time like I used to. Now I work a lot, like 60, 70 hours a week. It's kind of hard to manifest, to try to like have a balance. And then on my off days, it's not that I don't want to do videos on my off days. It's just I want to go and enjoy what little free time I have and just go, maybe go, out to a restaurant or something and have maybe have one beer and then maybe have a couple of wings or something, or maybe have a Diet Coke and then have some wings, and do that. Like that sort of, I just want to get a little, take a little stress off. Sometimes, working a lot of hours can, add to that stress, especially if you're working like 60, 70 hours a week. It's not something that I'm accustomed to, but it's something I'm, trying to get used to. So it's like now 40 hours for me is just like a part-time job basically, because I've gotten so used to working like 60 hours a week, 64 hours a week, like on a mission, So on my off days I have, I now manage to, go out and my brother, we go to these, we go to all these different restaurants and try stuff. The stress in life, the stress of having to, make money and pay bills and this and that. And, I just realized over the years that I uploaded so many videos and I realized that I just burned so much time away. If that kind of makes sense, I wish I would have not have devoted so much time uploading content, even though I think some of my videos were damn good. But I just think that I just put so much time into it and I wasn't getting anything off the back end. Not that I'm like trying to use anybody for money, but you see all these other creators and stuff, they're making that money. So there's a reward for what they do. And for me, I'm just making videos just to have to deal with trolls and this and that. To me, and for free, mind you, for free. So it's just like, what's the point in me pursuing all my time and doing content if, first of all, I'm not getting paid for it, and secondly, I have to deal with trolls all day? It's like, nah, no thanks, I'm good. I realized that I wasted so much time uploading content when I wish I would have done it maybe once or twice a week. A good friend of mine named Moohead Radio, we go and we do. Sometimes we'll go and cover sports or life or whatever on his channel. I haven't really been on his channel in a while, but we'll collab every now and then. And he used to do the same thing I did. He used to upload content every single day. And then I realized when I asked him one day, how come you don't do videos every day? Like, you only do them on Mondays and Fridays. And he's like, because you get burned out and you get sick of it. And I never really understood that concept until this year. I really started understanding that I just burned so much time making free content. It was just like, damn, I could have been doing something else with my life, and instead I'm just making video to entertain trolls. This is, to me, doesn't make any logical sense. And I think that's kind of where he got his mindset from. I think he just realized that I don't need to upload content every day. What am I building a channel for? I'm not making any money doing this. So what's the incentive for me to invest all this time into, building content? This doesn't make any sense. So I just said, you know what? I'll just do a video every now and then when I feel like it. Travel videos, food reviews, stuff that I really enjoy doing, and stay less away from other things that could, cause a distraction or whatever and take me off my mind of me enjoying life. So at the end of the day, like, one thing you can't get back is time. That's like one thing I realize now as you get older, you can't get back time. That's one thing I wish that I can get back, but I can't. It's just like, I wish I didn't devote so much time and energy into producing videos when I could have just been doing other things with my life or producing content that really matters, or better content, So, maybe it just wasn't meant for me. It just wasn't meant for me to be a big YouTuber. Maybe I was kind of stuck in my own mind thinking one day I'm going to be this great content maker and I'm going to make all these videos and get all this, make money and this and that. And I just realized, my time has passed me up. And the only difference was that I realize that now. Like, my time has passed me up. You know what I'm saying? And, I had my peak. I had my good years where I did do good videos. And then I think, like, during COVID, it kind of spiked a little bit. It kind of got back up again. And then in 2023, 2024 sort of took a nosedive. And then I just realized, why try to jumpstart a car that just simply doesn't work? That's like the best analogy to explain it. I'm not going to waste my time anymore producing content just to have to deal with trolls all day. It's just not worth it. And then I'm not getting paid for it either. So that's even worse. So it's just like, you're just basically wasting time. And, I realize that now. I realize that there's other things in life that are much, much better to pursue happiness without necessarily having to hit a record button every single day like I was doing for all these years. I look back at it now and I'm like, wow, actually, I'm a lot, more at peace. I just was so addicted to hitting the record button. It just was an addiction. Just was like, had to do it. I wish I would have made some money on here. It would have incentivized me to want to stay, but it wasn't meant to be. It just is what it is. It's life. Life passes you by. But yeah, the Cougars almost did it. So Houston, I'm happy for you, bro. Y'all guys went to the championship. You're better than my Longhorns, I'll tell you that. And my men's basketball team doesn't have the NCAA championship in basketball. Not for the men's. For the women's, I'm not so sure. I might have to look that one up. But I know for the men's, we don't have any. Now, Now for football, we got 4. We got 4. So I'm good with that. But for basketball, we don't have any. I mean, I'm dying to get one. I'm looking for one good year. One decent year where we can have like a good championship drive like the Cougars do. Like Cougars have a good recruiting team. They got some excellent recruiters out there that know how to look for talent. I don't know. For some reason, our men's basketball team sucks. I can't explain it. I don't know why. Our men's basketball team freaking sucks. It's hard to explain. I don't know how else to explain it. Brandon Rogers, who is your basketball team? Is it Gonzaga? Because I think Gonzaga's in your area, so it has to be Gonzaga. I don't know if your team's Gonzaga or if it's what was the team up in Seattle? I mean, the only thing I like about the March Madness bracket is you hear about teams like Iona that's from Chicago, and you got like these smaller schools that like kind of make a run in the tournament, and it kind of gives like a Cinderella. That's the one thing I like about men's basketball. I think that, in my opinion, lacks in the National Basketball Association. And my opinion, I think if the NBA wanted to emulate a March Madness tournament, the only way to get that done is to make it a 12-team NBA playoff tournament for each side, and you get the top 4 first-round bye for each conference. So 5 plays 12, 6 plays 11, 7, 10, and 8, 9. So if you look at basketball, like Portland Trailblazers are 12. They would play against whoever the number 5 seed is, which I think right now is Memphis. Now, call me crazy. I think the Blazers can actually beat the Grizzlies, even though the Blazers are like 33 and 40-something. I think they might be able to compete with the Memphis Grizzlies and could knock them out and be that number 12 seed to face what would be the number 1 seed in the next round, which would be Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, I don't think they would beat them, but it would give a March Madness sort of feel to it. I don't know if NBA would ever do that. I think they're considering it because we're supposed to add more NBA teams next year. It's supposed to be Vegas and Seattle are supposed to suit. The Supersonics are coming back, and then we're supposed to get Vegas. And rumors is they're going to move Memphis or Minnesota to the Eastern Conference. So that's the rumor. So if you figure you're going to have a 32-man bracket, then you're probably going to add more basketball teams in the tournament. Otherwise, you're going to have a bunch of teams tanking at the bottom. So I'm thinking they may do a 24-team format for the playoffs. And if so, you're looking at an NBA March Madness. I think the NBA playoffs is missing that March Madness bracket. Absolutely. And it would add to it if you had more teams. I mean, I know it sounds kind of diluted, but I think it would be pretty cool. I mean, if college basketball can get away with a 64-team tournament or 68, then I think the NBA could probably do a 24-team tournament. Now, I think it would be pretty cool. I think it just would give your team an opportunity to do something. I'm not saying that Portland Trailblazers are going to win it all, but I wouldn't mind seeing like a DeAndre Ayton and a Shaedon Sharpe that's got the Blazers at 34 or 35 wins at this point. I wouldn't mind seeing them be a number 12 seed and knock out a number 5 like Memphis. Then that would be pretty cool. So now you got like this March Madness bracket in your window, and it gives like, and then Phoenix comes in at 11, and then they would play whoever number 6 is, which I think, if in my correction, is it Minnesota or is it the Clippers? Well, that would be a pretty cool spot. The Suns don't got a bad team, and then you got Durant, you got Bill, you got Book, and you got them going up against maybe James Harden and Kawhi Leonard in the first round. Could possibly be an upset. So I think that would be pretty cool. It adds a March Madness style to it. So I know this is long talks out of the way, but I predict the NBA is going to move up to a 24-team tournament with the new addition of 2 franchises in basketball. I predict it'll happen. So, which I agree with that. I hope that does. More basketball. Hey, I'm all for it. I'm a fan of basketball, so like I said, The Rockets are looking damn good this year. Oh yeah, the Houston Rockets are. What are they? The Rockets are number two in the West. So we're number 2 in the West, and they actually beat the number 1 seed, which was OKC, and ended their 13-game win streak. Though the Rockets are on fire. I don't know what, like, that draft pick for James Harden, we got all his first-round picks, ended up paying off, because you know why? We acquired all this talent, like Seguin, like Green, Torrey Eason, and then we ended up trading and picked up Fred VanVleet. Man, we got a cold roster. Like, the Rockets got a really good team, and we're going to look good in the playoffs. We might even make a deep run. I don't think we'll make it to the NBA Finals, but maybe like Western Conference Finals, maybe semifinals, per se. My scary thing is Golden State pulls in the number 3, and we end up playing the Warriors in the second round. That's what could get a little bit fishy. If the Rockets pull in at number 2 and we end up playing Golden State in the second round at the 2-3 matchup, and the Warriors have had our number over the years. They've beaten us 4 times in a row in the playoffs. They're 4-0 against us. I think the 2018 season, we lost in 7 games to them. Just, left a nasty, nasty, nasty taste in my mouth. All the times they've beaten us in the playoffs, they've had the last laugh. We've never beaten them in the playoffs. And this is would be like our opportunity maybe to get our first playoff series win against them. And, yeah, man, it's, I would like to see that happen. But Golden State is I think since Jimmy Butler, they've gone it's crazy. I think they're 21-2 since Jimmy Butler came to the Warriors. Dude, that is really impressive for them to do that. The Golden State's got a very, very good team. Anyways, well, congratulations, Florida Gators. You can chomp, chomp, chomp away. I like how they grab their hands, they start doing that little chomping signal. And congratulations to you guys. I think that you guys have a really good team, and that you have a really good team, man. I know a friend of mine, I think his name's Scotty. I want to give him a shout out. Good personal friend of mine on Facebook. He is a big, big time Florida Gators fan. So if you're watching, man, I want to say, much love to you. And I always see you repping your Gators. You have that little chain gang thing and the Florida Gator hat. And man, you got a good team, man. And they're the natty. You got yourself a natty, man. I'm still waiting for my Longhorns to get their first natty. I'm waiting for that time to come. Hopefully, before I'm 90 years old, we will win the natty. Hopefully in my lifetime. Hopefully.